So I'm kind of in the mood for one of those just off the dome rant videos because I've got a lot on my mind regarding Call of Duty, especially as of recently, because I feel like Call of Duty, the community as a whole right now, is probably at its most negative point that it's been in quite some time. Like, the negativity surrounding the current game and even some of the past games is really high. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that Cold War is sort of at its time now where we're almost getting the next COD revealed to us soon, so a lot of people are just kind of anticipating that. But what makes it even worse is that the next COD, people aren't that excited for. At least when it comes to the hardcore community, we don't really know what the casuals are thinking, to be honest, but when it comes to the hardcore community, a lot of people are not happy because the leaks for the next game aren't sounding all that great in a lot of different ways. For me personally, I don't think it sounds all that terrible. I don't really judge too much based off of leaks. I want to kind of wait till the game's actually revealed, and especially when we actually get to play it ourselves, so I'm not going to judge it too harshly just yet. But a lot of people are just not that excited for it anymore because they don't think these leaks sound very good in a lot of different ways. But I'm here to say that I think people need to calm the fuck down, man. They really, really do. I do want to make sure I clarify that there's a difference between complaining mindlessly and just being annoying straight up, and constructive criticism. Constructive criticism is good. I think that's a good thing to do. Hell, I do it all the time. You guys watch my channel, you know I make plenty of videos constructively critiquing Call of Duty games, and sometimes I like to analyze even the older ones, and yes, I throw a lot of shade at them. I talk a lot of shit about some of these older CODs because I'm like, oh, I don't like this about it, I don't like that about it, but I do it in a constructive way where I'm kind of viewing the game from a critical perspective. I'm not just mindlessly complaining and hating on, because guess what? If I hated the game so much, I would not talk about it. I would not play it. I would not do anything with it because I do not want to surround myself with things that I don't enjoy. I do critique these games a lot because I want them to get as good as they possibly can, so that's why I'm always bringing up all these solutions for possible problems with the games. And of course, not all my, problems with these games are similar for everyone. Not everyone has the same issues with these games. Some people like a slower time to kill, some people don't. So I can't always sit here and be like, oh, my critiques are objectively true for everyone, because it's obviously not the case. But there's never been a Call of Duty that I've hated so much to the point where I feel the need to complain about it throughout the entire year and basically act like I don't even enjoy even just a little bit of the game. Because if that was the case, I would not play it. Modern Warfare 2019, a lot of people think that I absolutely despise that game's existence. That's not entirely true. I have had fun with it in the past. I just think as a whole, it's one of my least favorite COD multiplayers we've ever had, and that's why I critique it. And I definitely critiqued it a lot while it was out. You guys definitely, if you were around my channel, you probably saw me talking about the game a lot and complaining about different features and saying how it should improve. But what a lot of people do instead of giving solutions and talking about how it could be better, they just complain endlessly about every little thing, and they don't give specifics. That's the issue. They don't give specifics. They say the maps are shit, the guns are shit, the movement is shit, this is shit, that is shit. They use the word shit all the time. They don't give actual reasons. They don't actually pinpoint what is wrong with these maps, what is wrong with the gameplay, what is wrong with this, and they don't give solutions either. They just complain. I mean, it's just not good for your mental health to surround yourself around things you don't enjoy and to just mindlessly just destroy the game's existence. I mean, there's human beings who work on these games. Their entire lives are basically put into working on their game. It's their career. It's a big part of themselves. They work on these day in and day out. They don't want to hear you just yelling and bitching about the game mindlessly when you probably just don't enjoy the game because it's just not for you. There's a lot of games where it's like that. Modern Warfare 2019 is one of those games. I play the game and I really think to myself, I completely understand why people enjoy this. For the certain type of audience, this game is actually incredible. But for me, what I enjoy in a Call of Duty game, it's not for me. I prefer the more arcadey, arena shooter-esque style that like Black Ops 4 and Cold War provides, whereas Modern Warfare 2019 feels a little more tactical, probably better for modes like Search and Destroy, and the people who like that, that's fine for them. I'm not going to rain on their parade. I'm not going to say, why do you enjoy this game? Unless it's in a joking tone. There's a difference between joking around and being dead serious, obviously. I think that's clear. If I'm talking with friends, we always mess around about that kind of stuff. We make fun of each other for it, bust each other's balls. That's a completely different thing, but especially especially when you're talking to random people on the internet, you have no idea if they're joking or not. So you see people literally trashing on people's existence just because they like a video game. I get people coming to my channel all the time, going into the comments, they dislike the video, then they go into the comments and they say, wow, I had to stop watching this video because you were defending Call of Duty. It's like, I'm a Call of Duty channel and you're surprised that I'm enjoying Call of Duty? Like, how does that make any sense? I see this happening with like Warzone too. People who play Warzone, they just don't stop complaining about it. But for some reason, every time I play Warzone, I have the time of my life, man. And I'm pretty good. I get skill-based matchmaking sucks, and I don't like skill-based matchmaking either, but it doesn't ruin the whole game for me. And if it does ruin the whole game for you, why are you playing it? Stop playing it then. Go play something else. Go do something else. People don't realize there's so many video games out there. There's so many things for you to do. You can go read a book. You can go for a run. You can go to the gym. You can go swimming if you have a pool. You can go, I don't know, go play soccer with some boys outside. There's so many things you can do in the world in your free time. Or you can just go work towards your job. Assuming you have some sort of a career, you can take more shifts at some work that you work at. You can go watch a movie. You can go hang out with friends. There's so many other things you can do than play Call of Duty. If you hate it that much, stop playing it. I don't understand. I see people who have literally hated the past 5 Call of Duties in a row. They have hated Infinite Warfare. They have hated World War II. They hated Black Ops 4. They hated Modern Warfare 2019. And they hate Cold War. And I'm sitting there like, why are you still playing this damn franchise? I don't understand it. And I think the reason why, psychologically speaking, is that they don't actually hate these games. They don't. They have a lot of fun with it. But for some reason, their minds are just wired in a way where negative energy is the only thing that can be expressed. So all their positives about the game don't really become expressed. And there's also this big factor that people crave negativity, right? So when it comes to YouTubers, I'm not going to name anyone specifically, but when it comes to certain YouTubers, you see them always posting negative content. I take advantage of this as well, I'll be honest. I'm not going to lie here and act like I don't do this sometimes. Sometimes I do, but negative content significantly is more attractive than positive content. It's just the way the world works. I don't know why. So that's why a lot of the times I'll title my videos something like World War II Vanguard will be bad, ? Which is one of my recent videos, instead of simply titling it like, oh, new World War II Vanguard leaks or something. It gets more views and more attention when you have this negative title, even if my opinion isn't necessarily negative about it, because in the video, if you watched it, I was actually talking about how I don't think these leaks sound that bad. So that's just a way to spin around the whole negative energy in a way that's still positive, because in the end, I like to be positive about these games. If I really did not like them, I probably wouldn't talk about them or play them, because that's just not enjoyable to me. I would go find another game or something else to talk about. I really just like to find the good in things, right? That's a big thing that I think a lot of people should try to do more often. So when I'm playing these games, I don't want to sit there thinking about all the negatives. I don't. There are sometimes some negatives that'll just pop out and they're unavoidable, and we have to talk about them, and that's fine. That's why I like making these critical analysis of these games, talking about the bad about them, talking about the good about them. I talk about both of the sides, right? And sometimes I only want to talk about the bad because I want those bad things fixed. That's why sometimes I will make a video literally just about the things I don't like about Cold War, in the hopes that these problems will get addressed and possibly changed. Or if they're not addressed, at least they know of them, or at least my opinion can go out there and people can hear my opinion on it. You know, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, but I'm never sitting there just shitting on the entire game's existence, shitting on the developers, shitting on everything they do because I don't have fun with it, when fun is a big thing, and a lot of things can affect whether or not you have fun with a game, which is kind of funny. No one really thinks about this. Your enjoyment of Call of Duty is not simply based on just whether or not you actually think the game is good or bad. There's a lot of times I'll play a COD that is like my least favorite Call of Duty ever. Like, I don't know, I don't like World at War that much. People think I'm crazy for saying that, but I don't like World at War that much. I don't like Modern Warfare 2019 that much. I don't like Ghost that much. But I've had plenty of play sessions where I've had a great time on those 3 games. A great time. And there's plenty of times where I've played Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, some of my favorite CODs. Plenty of times I've played those, and I've had a terrible time. So it just goes to show that it doesn't really automatically mean that the game you're playing is going to decide whether or not you have fun. There's plenty of other factors that go into it. The biggest factor is how good or bad you do. Nobody takes this into account for some reason. I see it all the time, and it's kind of hilarious. Someone will be playing Call of Duty, they'll be playing really poorly, and when they're playing poorly, all you hear them is complaining about the game, talking about how bad the game is. They're just talking about the negative features of the game, like, oh, this is overpowered, this is trash, this game's awful, this map's bad, and then they start doing good. And next thing you know, they're talking good about the game. They're saying, oh, this game's great, this game's awesome, I like this game, this is a cool feature. It happens all the time. I've watched a lot of streamers, I played with a lot of people, it always happens. And I'm not like that because I don't let that get to me too much. I feel it in my mind, you know, I start enjoying some Call of Duties that I don't usually enjoy, and I'm like, it's kind of weird that I'm enjoying this game right now, but then I think to myself, oh, it's only because I'm doing good. I played Modern Warfare the other day on stream, and I was doing really good. I had a lot of good games. I don't know if you guys are watching on Twitch. I had a lot of good games. I had a good time. If I literally judged my entire opinion on Modern Warfare just from that PlayStation, my opinion would be pretty good on that game. I would give it a pretty high score. But obviously that's why we can't judge games based off of just playing it a couple times, because so many other factors can play a role in whether or not you have a good time on it. I mean, this is why skill-based matchmaking is so strict nowadays, because they know this. They know that people are going to have more fun if they're not doing as bad. So what they do is they pair people against their own skill level, so they'll likely have a better game more of the time. You know what I mean? That's why they do that. That's exactly why. And the majority of players are not that good as is. So people are doing a lot better in these recent Call of Duties than they've ever done before. Like, people who I know historically used to get terrible gameplays all the time, they're not doing that bad anymore. And then obviously people who used to do really good, they're not doing as good now. Now, I found ways to kind of abuse the system a little bit, and it's really not that hard to do. All you have to do is just play casually a couple games in a row, not really take, you know, your KD too seriously, and you'll likely get put into easier lobbies because chances are you won't do that great those games. The problem is, everyone just fiends doing good. They don't want to ever do bad, so they're like, oh, I have to go try hard every single game. And then they get put into try hard lobbies every single game because that's what they're doing. Of course, it's putting you in the lobbies based on your skill level. That's just how it is. So you have to find ways to abuse the system a little bit and make it work. And I feel like people just don't want to do that. They just kind of want to sit there and be like, oh, let me just bitch about this game and keep playing it and nonstop. It's like, if you don't like it, either find a way to enjoy it or don't play it at all. It's as simple as that. Like, you don't have to play it. There's no obligation to play Call of Duty, you know what I mean? And I think people need to kind of learn that and just chill out. And as I said in the beginning of this video, this does not mean that you shouldn't critique the games at all. That's not what I'm saying. It's really good to give constructive criticism. The devs need the constructive criticism because they don't know exactly what we want from these games. So it's good to let them know what you want. And again, you need to realize that what you want is not what everyone wants. People seem to think that's the case. They're like, oh, everyone hates skill-based matchmaking, so remove it. It's like, that's not the case though. Majority of people don't even know what skill-based matchmaking is, but it is positively affecting their experience. So why would they want it removed? You know what I mean? They don't know what it is though. So, you know, it's only the hardcore people, the people who talk about it on Twitter, who know what it is really. And that's a small percentage of the community, very small percentage. People for some reason think it's much bigger, but it's not. Trust me. Twitter community, it's small, right? And yeah, I don't like skill-based matchmaking, but I'm also not gonna let it ruin my experience. And guess what? If it was ruining my experience as a whole, I wouldn't play the game as much. Maybe not at all, you know? I don't like fast time to kills in Call of Duty. I made that point many times. I think fast time to kill is really detrimental to the gameplay experience for me because I feel like skill isn't involved as much. The gameplay flow is also a lot slower usually, but I still don't think it ruins the entire game. And that's why I may not play those games as much. That's why Modern Warfare 2019, instead of continuously playing it and bitching about it throughout the life cycle, which I played it and did complain about it a lot, yes, but not to the over-the-top point where it was just annoying, you know what I mean? Instead, what I did most of that year was I went back to Black Ops 4, a game I enjoy a lot more. I went back to that, had fun on that, talked positively about that because that is just more enjoyable to me. Still made videos critiquing Modern Warfare because, again, I wanted those problems to be addressed and I wanted to share my opinion on why I think some of the gameplay systems in that game are not good for it. So maybe they'll be changed, or maybe the future Infinity Ward titles will change it, whatever it may be. I can't assume they will listen to exactly what I want because there's a lot of other people in the community who want differently. You know what I mean? We have to understand that. So I think that I'm going to end the video there. I like ranting like this. It's fun to do. And let me know if you guys enjoy it, because I don't really know if you guys care to hear me rant for 15 minutes. But if you do, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.